This week on Purdue Boneless Chicken Breast, buy one, get one free.
Good morning, America. Breaking news. New polls show the race tightening as newly leaked Clinton campaign emails detail how the former president made millions after he left the White House, what an aide calls Bill Clinton Inc. Our ABC News exclusive. Donald Trump, his wife, and his family. Trump hits Hillary Clinton for those leaked emails.
George, she's so guilty.
Doubles down on his claims of a rigged system.
It's record-setting bad treatment, what I'm getting. It's the greatest pile-on in American history.
And his strategy in the war against ISIS.
You can tell your military expert that I'll sit down and I'll teach him a couple of things.
His wife, Melania, opens up about those abuse allegations.
They were lies.
And his kids talk their brand and legacy, with just 12 days till the election.
Breaking overnight. 2 major earthquakes rock Italy, crumbling churches and buildings, knocking out power and sending panicked people into the streets. Just months after that deadly quake killed hundreds.
And Chicago strikes back. Beating Cleveland in Game 2, the comeback kid overcoming a major injury to take his team to victory as the Cubs get their first win in the World Series in 71 years.
Live in Times Square, this is GMA with Robin Roberts, George Stephanopoulos, and Michael Strahan.
And good morning, America. Boy, is this shaping up to be an epic World Series.
Yes, it is. And what a comeback for Kyle Schwarber. Just months ago, he had major knee surgery, had to learn to walk again. And before he hurt his knee, he had 4 bats in all of April before he blew his knee out. And now his bat is as hot as ever.
Look at him now. And you know what? Speaking of big returns, Michael, look who's back. George.
Yes.
One day away.
George is back.
We missed you, though, George.
We missed you so much. You had a big interview with the Trump family.
Yeah, and you know, every single day in this campaign, we say we've never seen anything like that before. Yesterday, no exception. Look where we were, ribbon cutting for a hotel 12 days out from a presidential election. The guy who owns it right there, Donald Trump, designed by his daughter Ivanka. The whole family was down there for the opening. I spoke with Donald, I spoke with his wife, Melania, I spoke with all the kids as well, and we went through the hotel. I have to say, it is a pretty spectacular hotel, not cheap. Either. But, you know, they're facing some questions about the brand in the campaign. We get into that as well.
All right, looking forward to it. A lot to get to this morning. But first, we want to get to the breaking news. Newly leaked emails from the Clinton campaign now raising more questions as Hillary gets ready to hit the trail with First Lady Michelle Obama today. And ABC's Cecilia Vega is on the trail in Greensboro, North Carolina with the very latest. Good morning, Cecilia.
Amy, good morning to you. Clinton will be here in North Carolina, hoping the star power of the First Lady can help her here in this battleground. But first, those WikiLeaks emails, something her campaign does not want to be dealing with just days to go until Election Day. This morning, newly leaked documents casting a shadow on the Clinton campaign. This 2011 memo from Bill Clinton's longtime aide revealing how he pressured donors to steer business opportunities to the former president after he left the White House, including paid speaking engagements that reportedly earned the Clintons tens of millions of dollars. The aide describing these efforts as Bill Clinton Inc. ABC News has not independently verified the documents, the Clinton campaign not commenting on individual emails. With days to go, Hillary Clinton stealing a page from Donald Trump's playbook, attacking her opponent for taking a break from campaigning.
Donald Trump is taking time off the campaign trail to officially open the hotel.
And trying a scare tactic to convince supporters to go vote early.
Donald Trump says he can still win, and he's right.
Today, she is calling in backup her superstar surrogate, First Lady Michelle Obama, side by side with Clinton on the campaign trail for the very first time. She is the not-so-secret weapon who seems to love her new role. And now Clinton looking ahead to election night, her team announcing it will hold her election night party in New York City in this arena under a literal giant glass ceiling, hoping for a symbolic victory that would shatter it into a million pieces. Yeah, there is no question that Team Clinton is feeling very confident right now, but they are sounding the alarms this morning about complacency. Their biggest fear, George, is that supporters will not go out to vote because they are so confident about this election. George.
So focused on energizing their supporters right now. Cecilia, thanks. And we're going to move on now to Donald Trump. As we said, sat down at the opening of his Trump Hotel in Washington yesterday in the home stretch of this campaign. He was energized, upbeat, and as you'll see,
in no mood to apologize to his critics or his accusers. I did the first interview of this campaign on the first day Trump.
You did.
We did.
That's
We're
right.
here in a Trump hotel today.
Right.
But what do you say to supporters of yours who think you shouldn't be taking time off the campaign trail from the battleground states?
Well, I think it's so unfair because, you know, Hillary Clinton goes to see an Adele concert last night, and everybody says, oh, wasn't that nice? Isn't that wonderful? I have stopped. I did 8 stops yesterday. I built one of the great hotels of the world. What am I supposed to do, not show up? I'm taking 1 hour off. I built this hotel under budget and ahead of schedule. Now, that's why I'm doing this.
You've talked a lot about the fact that you think this election could be rigged. I want to go back to 2012. You sent out a tweet.
I think the system is rigged.
Election night 2012. This election is a total sham and a travesty. We are not a democracy. How was the 2012 election
Because
rigged?
I look at the way the media treats the Republicans and conservatives, and I see the way it's so skewed.
But you called the whole election a sham and a travesty.
Oh, well, I think it was horrible the way they were treated in the media. The only thing worse is the way I'm being treated. Look, I'm being treated. Hey, it's record-setting bad treatment, what I'm getting. It's the greatest pile-on in American history. I go to these rallies, and they're starting to hate the media because they see it's all a big lie. And not all, but a lot of it's a big lie. Now, at the same time, you have some wonderful...
like $1 billion in free media during the primaries.
Well, I don't know if you call it $1 billion in free when it's bad. What should really be, they should be talking about WikiLeaks and the horrible things that have come out about Hillary Clinton, the horrible things.
Let's stick on this election idea.
And George, she's so guilty. She deleted 33,000 emails. They're missing boxes of emails. She's so guilty. How can she even run? But there's such anger in this country over what she got away with.
The FBI director, appointed by Republicans, said no reasonable
prosecutor would bring such a case.
He made a mistake, okay, or whatever. I don't even call it a mistake. I think something happened. Look, something happened. You go into the well, I think somebody talked to him. I think, hey, look, how can President Clinton, when the Attorney General says something going on, George, she's so guilty. Congress sends a subpoena. She deletes all of her emails, okay? She deletes them.
If she wins, I know you think you're going to win, but if she wins, if she gets the kind of win that President Obama got, more than 300 electoral votes, several million in the popular vote, will you accept that as a clear result?
I'll make that decision at the right time. I mean, don't worry about it. I'll make the decision at the right time. But we have a rigged system. Look at what's coming out with WikiLeaks. Look at what they're saying, where Podesta says that Hillary Clinton, running for president, has bad instincts. Bernie Sanders says she's got bad judgment. So if Podesta says bad instincts, Sanders says bad judgment, why are people even thinking about voting?
All 17 U.S. intelligence agencies believe the Russians are behind that leak. Why don't you believe it?
I don't know if they're behind it, and I think it's public relations, frankly. Do you know what does bother me? I have nothing to do with
But you were even told that by the Republican head of the Homeland Security, Mike McCall. He said the same thing.
I don't know what he said.
He told you that he thought the Russians were behind it.
Hacking is very interesting. Hacking is very hard to determine who did what, okay? You know that. People are hacking all over the place. Nobody knows. They don't know if it's Russia. They can't guarantee it's Russia, and it may be.
Let's talk about Mosul. On Sunday, you sent out a tweet saying that the operation was a total disaster. The defense secretary is on the ground. He says they're making progress. He's encouraged by the progress. The former dean of the Army War College says this shows that Trump doesn't know a damn thing about military strategy.
The Army War College, let me tell you, the element of surprise. I've been hearing about Mosul now for 3 months. We're going to attack, meaning Iraq's going to attack, but with us, okay? We're going to attack. Why do they have to talk about it? Don't talk about it. Element of surprise. One of the reasons they wanted Mosul, they wanted to get the ISIS leaders who they thought were in Mosul. Those people have all left. As soon as they heard they're going to be attacked, they left. The resistance
the defense says 35 of them have been taken out.
Excuse me. The resistance is much greater now because they knew about the attack. Why can't they win first and talk later? Why do they have to say 3 months before the attack, we're going in? So you can tell your military expert that I'll sit down and I'll teach him a couple of things.
On Saturday, you said that you would threaten to sue the 11 women who've accused you of sexual assault.
You know, I hate that you waste time when we're talking about ISIS and we're talking about jobs and you're still bringing that up. Everybody wants to bring it up. Look,
that was just Saturday.
These were false attacks. These things never happened. These people, I don't know these people. These things never, ever happened. This was out of the blue. It was made up, probably by the Clinton campaign.
Do you have any evidence of that?
Well, many of the stories have already been debunked. Many of the stories have already been debunked.
Actually, the People magazine story, they brought forward 6 witnesses.
Why didn't she
to
write the
corroborate
story 12 years ago?
She said she was afraid.
Oh, she was afraid. Give me a break. She was afraid to write it. She would have gotten the Pulitzer Prize. Give me a break.
So all these women, everyone they talked to are lying?
They made up stories. You know why? Fame, or they wanted to help Clinton, or something. They made up stories.
They came out after you denied the behavior.
George, let's not waste any more time. These stories were fabricated. They're total lies.
So you're going to go through with the lawsuit?
We'll find out. Let's see what happens with the election. We're going to find out.
When you look back over the sweep of this campaign, going back to last June, is there anything you regret?
Oh, absolutely. I'd love to have done certain things over, but you can't. You can't. But that's true in life. I'd love to have done in life certain things over, I guess. And you would have too.
Give me one.
You would have loved not to have contributed to the Clinton Foundation, as an example. There are things that you wish you didn't do, okay? There are things I would have rather, you know, not happened. But George, all you can do is you put your head down and you have to go forward.
Do you think you should have apologized to the Kahns or Judge Curiel?
I have great respect for the Kahn family. I have great respect for, I mean, the son is a great hero. But if I were president at that time, Captain Kahn would be alive today, George, because I wouldn't have been in Iraq. So if I were president, Captain Kahn's son would be...
You did support it initially.
Support
the invasion.
I never support... Look, let's get it straight. I was opposed to the war in Iraq. I was opposed to the war in Iraq. And for the most part, the honest people agree with it.
But
right from the beginning,
the Howard Stern statement was pretty clear.
Are you for invading Iraq?
Yeah, I guess so. You know, I wish it was. I wish the first time it was done correctly.
Way before the war started, and that was the first time I was ever even asked about Iraq. And I gave a very I don't know, who knows. Had I been president, Captain Kahn would be alive today. We wouldn't have been in this horrible, horrible mistake, the war in Iraq.
Final question. I heard backstage Colonel Dolan said that you said Hillary Clinton was a tough and talented lady. She said, if I win, we have to work together. I know you think you're going to win. If she wins, are you prepared to work with her?
I just want to make that decision at a later date. I'm not saying I'm not or I am. Hopefully I won't have to make that decision. I really believe we're going to win.
And we're going to talk about this all now with ABC's Matthew Dowd and Cokie Roberts. He says he's going to win. Matt Dowd, where does the race stand right now? Our own tracking poll does show it just a bit closer at that 6 points you talked about on Monday.
Well, instead of describing this as tightening, I would describe it as settling. The race is settling. As we remember having a conversation just a few days ago when we had the race at 12, I said I thought the race was roughly at 6. This race has been at 5 or 6. 150 days ago when the general election started, it was at 5 or 6. 100 days ago, it was at 5 or 6. 2 weeks ago, it was at 5 or 6. A week ago, it was at 5 or 6. So I think the race is just settling back into its natural equilibrium. If he somehow moves the race below 4 to 3 or 2, then this race is very competitive.
Then you're seeing something new. Meantime, though, Cokie Roberts, what you're seeing is there from Donald Trump is he's still got issues trying to win over new voters, especially women voters. And, you know, we saw how he talked about the accusers right there. You also have Newt Gingrich, one of his top supporters, getting that tangle with Megyn Kelly.
Right, right. You know, women are not going for him, and but it is. I agree with Matt completely. It's settling, but it could get quite tight. Republicans have come home. And I think that you're going to see some questioning among some of the women who have been saying that they're for Hillary Clinton right now, but have never really been all that happy about it. But, you know, when he says that women are accusing him because they want fame, nobody has ever wanted fame for sexual assault. And people are very hesitant to come forward on something like that. And he says it's been debunked, but it hasn't been debunked. So I think that, you know, that a lot of people will have trouble believing him on that front.
Okay, Cokie, Matt, thanks very much. We'll have much more of the interview later on. I sit down with Donald and his wife, Melania, just ahead, and his children in our next hour.
All right, looking forward to that, George. But now on to 2 powerful earthquakes that happened overnight, striking the central region of Italy just hours apart. This was about 50 miles north of the area where a quake killed nearly 300 people back in August. ABC's Lama Hassan has the scary moments caught on tape.
Overnight, central Italy rocked by 2 powerful earthquakes, toppling buildings. The first quake, 5.5 magnitude, Then just 2 hours later, a more powerful 6.1 magnitude. Terrified residents running into the streets. At least 60 aftershocks throughout the night. ABC's Jennifer Eccleston is at the scene hardest hit by the earthquakes.
Here in Wjla, just outside of the epicenter, it's street after street of crumbled buildings.
Several buildings collapsing in the town of Camerino. Bulldozers working around the clock as rescuers search for anyone who may be still trapped. Huge boulders blocking roads. The 15th century church caught collapsing into rubble, already weakened by the 6.2 earthquake in late August in the same region that killed nearly 300 people.
And this morning, rescuers are out in force scouring the wreckage, looking for people who may be still trapped as the aftershocks continue to rattle the area. Amy? All right, Lama Hassan, we know you'll keep us updated. And back here at home, Michael, I know we had a big night in baseball.
Big night if you're a Chicago Cubs fan. Big night indeed. And there you go. The Cubs fans had their W signs out, celebrated a big win last night, tying up the series with the Cleveland Indians 1-1. And our own Gio Benitez is in Ohio with all the latest. Good morning, Gio.
Hey, Michael, good morning. We are in the visitors' dugout here in Cleveland, where no doubt those Cubs were cheering during that winning game.
The Cubs took home Game 2 of the World Series.
The Cubs have evened the series,
beating the Indians 5-1.
And the Cubs beat the Indians.
The Cubs' comeback kid, Kyle Schwarber, leading the offense.
He does, and a base hit. Here comes Rizzo.
Going 2 for 3, driving in 2 runs.
He's back.
The 23-year-old slugger suffered multiple torn ligaments in a game on April 7th and hadn't played major league level until the first game of the World Series.
Kyle Schwarber, 2 days ago, you're playing in the Arizona Fall League. You have not seen major league pitching in 200 days. Can you please tell me how that's possible?
I mean, you live for this moment. This is the moment that you want to be in.
As the series heads to Wrigley Field tomorrow night, the friendship between Indian second baseman Javier Baez and Cubs shortstop Francisco Lindor delighting fans.
I've been watching him. I know what he's capable of doing.
Me and him are really close, really close, almost like brothers. We know, I know his family, he knows my family.
They grew up just 15 miles apart. In this game from 2010,
easy 3 bags.
The duo even hit back-to-back triples.
Another 3-bagger. 52 out. Gets a base hit into center.
Cleveland starter Trevor Bauer got pulled in the 4th inning, but there was as much attention on his pinky as his game. 2 weeks ago, Bauer sliced open the finger on his pitching hand after playing with a drone. Before the game, number 47 tweeted out this gift he had received from a couple of Cubs fans, a drone.
I mean, they did lose, so maybe that fan's gift worked. I got to tell you, the energy here was just palpable from both sides. Now that energy moves on to Chicago, guys.
Oh, we got some weather there, too, huh, Gio?
He's hiding in the dugout.
It looks like he's wincing.
but Ginger, it looked like it was a good idea to start the game an hour early yesterday because of the rain.
Great idea. The rain came in after the game, just after 11 o'clock, so good move there. Chicago's going to be beautiful. You know what was a little early season hit of snow right there where I'm from? On the pumpkins we go with that snow. Measurable snow a couple of weeks early, and look where it was falling in different parts of mid-Michigan. I wanted to also show you this morning. It's happening in Pennsylvania, New York, and even parts of New Jersey. We even have winter weather advisories out for more than 4 inches of snow. Let's get to the rainy cities now. Brought to you by Target.
I get you dancing to the diggy dough. This is my town. If you don't know now, you know. Do that thing that you do. I'll show you a new move. Check out the diggy dough. I'm a flippity flop, that clickety clop. Staying up tonight, I won't leave. By now, I hope you figured it out. I'll give you more than you ever need.
Well, it's not going to be nearly as cool as yesterday, certainly this morning. Later today, we're going to see the temperatures rise into the low and mid 60s across the area. But rain, it develops, and after about lunchtime today, we've got our best chance. Between 1 and 5 p.m., some showers come through, mainly light. We'll probably get a 1/10 to a 1/4 of an inch. Can't rule out a sprinkle chance for Sunday. But the big story for the weekend is the warm-up. Low to mid 70s. Right now, Halloween looking dry, the high 62.
Coming up next, so much more of Georgia's exclusive with Donald Trump and his wife Melania, what she is saying about those